A few pieces of advice from Jimmy Casas to future principals from his book Culturize.
I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know.
The first is to focus more on experiences because as we look back, that's what we're going to remember. And I know as a teacher, the day-to-day experiences with students are where I have an impact, and that's what matters to me most. So I don't want to lose that when I have a complex job that has a lot of details that I could get lost in. The second one is to take time to invest in yourself as much as in others. And Casas recommends that we fill our own cup. I think that self-care is really important. Hard work needs to be balanced with that, but we're not going to be able to serve others if we are not taking care of our own needs. The next one is to stay connected, and I think this is important no matter what, to remember where you came from and to stay grounded by getting in touch with people from your past. But especially as principal, which can be a really lonely job, I think it's important to have that network of people whom you can talk to. This is advice that I give to my students when we're writing. Don't just tell them, show them, make it vivid, make it real. And it's something that I take seriously as a teacher too, because people don't really follow your words as much as they follow your actions. Very important when you're leading a whole school of people too. Don't depend on the same teachers and leaders. This is a really easy pitfall to get into because we always are going to have those people who are more eager to participate, but we have to get some of the quieter, more reluctant people in there as well because we're trying to build a whole community and build capacity across the board. Next, don't let the process become the product when trying to influence change. Casas says that this can be frustrating for people who are trying to follow you, and that even though the decision-making process should be democratic, once the decision has been made, you have to take charge and move the process forward in order to achieve the goal. Stop putting so much emphasis on trying to be successful. Instead, be significant in the lives of others. I think for most people who are going into this job, it is because they want to be significant in the lives of others. It's not really for personal success, but I think it's a necessary measure to really be reflective about. Do you ever cheer as you're reading a book? I do, and this is one case where I did. Yes, Jimmy Casas, differentiating for staff like we do for students is something that is really going to save a lot of time for people and make sure that professional development is taken seriously and is maximized. If you want to improve your relationships with others, try changing the manner in which you have those conversations. What we've learned about empathetic conversations, about those challenging conversations, and what Casas says about saying no when it's necessary, but thinking about the way in which you say it, all of those are wrapped into the way we communicate. Focus on skill sets rather than knowledge when hiring staff. A lot of times we look at the amount of experience a person has or how much content knowledge they have, but that's not necessarily going to show how they relate to students and how well they can convey information and make sure that students learn it. The next one is to get in the last word by apologizing or accepting an apology. I think this is a two-way street. We need to take responsibility when we're wrong, and we need to admit it to ourselves too. But we also need to forgive. Everybody makes mistakes, and we can't learn if we don't acknowledge that and reflect on it before moving forward. Take responsibility for your own professional growth. This is one of the reasons that I went into the field of education, so I wouldn't be punching a clock and not growing for the rest of my life. Instead, I had the opportunity to keep learning. So I don't always get what I need by what's given to me, and probably even less so as a principal. So it's going to be my responsibility to keep learning. Finally, believe your words and actions can inspire others. What we say and do is going to be watched by everyone. So it's very important that we understand that every moment counts, and we should be doing what we can to build capacity and to get people moving forward.